spoken about a few topics that our next speaker is passionate about. He will talk about breaking the myth, the white-collar jobs versus solopreneurship in tourism. Mr. Onwuemele O, Professor, Academy of Learning College, Career College from Canada, representative, and he will talk about the following topics: salary realities versus solopreneur earnings, pathways, academia versus entrepreneurship, and corresponding examples such as Airbnb brokers, freelance bloggers, tour guides, VA services, and the message is employment is not the only path. So, please give a very warm welcome to our next speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the organizers of this program. I'm so delighted that I'm Professor Francis Onwuemele. And let me state clearly, my heart goes to those awesome students listening to us, just as where I was 40 years ago. My heart goes to you all, and I want to pour my heart to you and let you realize that you have not made the wrong choice. And I want to also state true, I'm a professor and I'm also an entrepreneur. So I'm speaking extensively from my own experience. So I will state here clearly that from experience so far, there's hardly any business or industry that is not linked to travel and tourism. I make bold to say that there's hardly any business or industry that's not linked to travels and tourism. And that is a fact that is true. So all you need to do now is to carve a niche for yourself. Now I'd like to share my slide if it's there. Can you please share the slide for me quickly? So I can guide the student properly, if it's possible.
Yes, I'm not sure I have it. If you have it open, it would be wonderful if you can do that. Thank you.
Okay, let me see if I can. Can you see my slide now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So because we have spoken extensively, I'm interested in the concept of the silent opportunities that are available to everybody under the sound of my voice. We have also taken time to define what is tourism, and I don't want to bother you about that, but to drive home a point that that act of traveling and then tourism focusing on the leisure and the relaxation. Then my own interest, the business aspect of travel and tourism. Then who's an entrepreneur? Eric did a good job on that, but just to let you know that it is that person, you, student on the front of my voice, who sees a business opportunity. You do not only see it, you take actions to realize your dream. An entrepreneur is somebody who's a visionary and has a creative mind. He's a problem solver, and no matter how small he's taking his steps, he takes a calculated risk. That's an entrepreneur. He's very persuasive in what he does, and he's very curious to ensure he adds value. Now, quickly, I will come back to this point. The opportunities at a glance for you, students, is what do these tourists desire? In your community there in Imo State, in Osun State, in the Caribbean, as a young entrepreneur, the first thing you ask yourself is, what do these tourists desire? What do they need to make their tours memorable? What does your local attraction in craft, in culture, and dance have? What about your language interpreters? I'm just revealing to you a lot of simple, small, subtle business opportunity in travels and tours. What about the idea of being a tour guide? Local but international standard snacks. I just share with you what somebody made from cassava. Made an incredible snack that will match the French fries. What about mobile restaurants? Drinks. Many of you are already into that. But except that you just limit yourself to that okpa you are selling in a small locality, the moment you begin to think deep and think wider, you already keen into the beauty of travels and tourism. What about the sale of artwork? Taking traditional tours to unique sites, the accommodation, the Airbnb is gradually coming up here, but you could have an incredible one in your environment. Then somebody who has an opportunity to tell the local folk tales, you'll be shocked how tourists want to sit by the fireplace to listen to the Arochukwu stories with graphical illustration when they are there on a visit. Even if it's a 30 minutes program, somebody could be making a lot of fun that this is a storytelling section. We have it in the Canada Wonderland. They call it the tourist storytelling section. They have a time for that. So what you need to do is when you look at the time and you go there to hear stories of ancient migrants in this environment. Then the haunted house, which I shared with you last time, which I said is my next business venture in Toronto, the haunted house, because I know that I could easily create an incredible experience from my African background. This is a classical, this is the Niagara site I'm talking about, the Niagara Falls. It's just 30 minutes drive from my house. This is what people come in millions to see every year round in Canada. And around this Niagara Falls, just at the extreme north there is US, the extreme south there is Canada. But you'll be shocked. People just come to see this. But beyond that, the local business entrepreneurship that develop around this is incredible. You'll be shocked the amount of businesses that have come on, the mobile restaurant, the storyteller, the strengths, the acrobatic display, the flight divers, name it, that has cropped up. Even the haunted house, which is now the hottest cake in that environment. Haunted house. People just want to go and experience what it takes to live or pass through a haunted house. This is Disneyland, is where every one of you must have gone in the US. This is somebody's dream and vision. The Disneyland is so awesome that it takes care of every age, from the age of 4 to the age of 90. Top providers, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, provided an avenue for every visitor to come into Disney house. Disneyland, you can't walk in there and walk out with your money intact. You will have every reason to spend money with excitement. This is the Kenya Game Reserve. This is what we try to create in Canada. We came to Kenya, bought their giraffe, bought their lions, bought their hippopotamus, bought their elephants, bought their gorillas, stored them here. When it is summer, weather equivalent to the weather in Kenya, we have a land for it, we throw it open. You'll be shocked. The number of people who go in there just to drive around for 30 minutes or 1 hour to see the safari wonderland. This is travels and tourism. Now, there are so many, if you pay attention to the picture, you will see a Land Rover car behind here with a man in red who is driving. That's a travel tour. There's a travel tour guide there who speaks French, English, Portuguese, Spanish. Whatever language you speak is to guide you through that tour. Gentlemen and ladies, this travel tour guide, guys, makes as much as a general manager in any hotels. So he has trained himself to speak in English, in Spanish. Maybe I know one person is trained to speak in Arabic. So that when tourists come in and they want to go into the Safari Game Reserve, he is selected to be in the tourist guide. What are you saying as a tour guide? You're speaking impeccable language, describing the animals you have seen, tell them folk tales, tell them stories, identify things that they may not see immediately. That's an awesome business. If you have a tour guide for 3 or 4 of that a day, you do that consistently for 3 weeks in a month, you are certainly well paid. Now, the myth of self-employment I understand, and I feel you too. If you are scared of going to self-employment, every one of us had that fear initially. Like Eric said, I retired as a general manager in a bank, but while I was a senior manager or a manager, I had taken interest in entrepreneurship. I'd opened my poultry farm in my village, and I was investing in it. Today, that poultry farm has about 6,000 birds with 7 employees, and it's still going on. I have not been there for 5 years, but it's running successfully. Now, what is critical in business development in tourism is your creative mind, my dear students. Your creative mind. Don't tell me you are not gifted with a creative mind. That is not true. Every one of you can sleep and dream is gifted with a creative mind. Your ability to do what? To identify opportunity at the Nike Lake, Ogudu Lake Reserve. The environment, just your environment there. There are a lot of things that you can look at are key based on your own given skills and energy. That is what demystifies the myths of business development. When they tell you, oh, you can't do this because the capital to establish it is huge. No. The first thing is your creative mind. Your ability to identify opportunities and value added, driven by your gifted skills. I knew I had a passion for farming, integrated farming. I knew for that long ago. But what I did was to carefully and gradually, if you see the investment there now, the investment there now is over 500 million. Now, okay, equivalent to about $500,000 now. But that was not developed suddenly. It was developed from a creative mind, from a vision, and I gradually nurtured it to what it is today. Have I stopped? No. Will I expand? Yes. And will I create more avenue? Yes. And that is the beauty of it. Yours could be a restaurant. It could be a mobile restaurant. Based on your local food. Remember I said every tourist wants to have a memorable experience. You're not come to see a tourist who came from the US and you start serving him French fries and hot dog. You're not making any impression on him. You're not making any impression on him. He wants to taste your local okpa. He wants to taste your cassava snacks. He wants to see, he wants to see your palm oil, right, being used to eat your roasted yam. That is it. It looks delightful experience. Every tourist wants to have a touch of that. This is Kogosi Spring. I was just on 20 years ago. But I took this picture because somebody went there last year and told me that the governor has made incredible improvement on the site. Ikogosi Spring is nature's wonder. It has a falls like a Niagara Falls. But the beauty about the Ikogosi Spring is that you will see one on your left-hand side of the Ikogosi Spring. It's a very warm, hot water. On your right-hand side, the same leg, is an extremely cold water coming from the same direction. What experience to beat that?
May I interject? Sorry, 1 minute left, please. Sorry, 1 minute left, please. I have to be the bad cop in this sense. It's a wonderful presentation, and we also have another last person waiting as well. So thank you so much for your understanding. If you would be so kind to try to wrap it up. Thank you.
I'll wrap it up now. Quickly, like I said, for instance, the critical thing is your arts and culture. I just gave some few examples. The Orisha worshippers in Songo, the cultural tourism in your environment. We have ready-made tourists from Brazil, from Cuba, from Argentina that are willing to come in the world. Then you have a new development coming up called the 30 December. My dear student, money chase vision. Vision, do not chase money. Once you get the vision and you put it on true, you can be rest assured, money will chase it. The hunter that I gave a few illustrations is just one of the many. And that is my new business venture. Create a haunted house in Niagara Falls, and I will bring a lot of African artifacts, African experience into it. And I'm hoping to quietly do that and ensure like a minimum of $2,000 a day. My gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen and students, I hope I've been able to touch your heart that you are not far from creating wealth within your vicinity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.